Well, Chris Popper here with Dr. Mark Gauss, the AOS 91 superintendent. It's funny because you reached out to me just as I was going to reach out to you, because I had seen a email from the Mount Desert Elementary principal in her weekly newsletter, and she had mentioned that there's going to be a symposium or a presentation about middle school consolidation. And I'm like, whoa, all right. So I know that's, one of the things that when you came here,
4 years ago.
4 years ago, time flies, was you were looking at long-range planning. And, I know that when you prepare the budget every year, you're always cognizant of the fact that while the taxpayers are very generous and always seem to approve the budgets, there is a level as to how high you can go.
Sure.
And so with all that, tell us about the planned meeting.
Well, first, thanks for clarifying, because this really is about helping or providing community members some resources so that they can make an informed decision. And what they're being asked to decide upon at this point is simply a question. It is a concept. They're not being asked, no one is being asked to fund a middle school. No one's being asked to approve a location or approve an amount. That's not what this question is about. We have spent the better part of the last several years exploring the concept, and there are people on all sides of the question. A task force was assembled. That was a group of teachers, of parents, of administrators. It was a widespread group, ed techs, and that subcommittee came up with a recommendation. And their recommendation was to recommend the formation of an island-wide middle school. Really, it's a parallel conversation from what occurred 50 years ago with this high school, right? We had 4 high schools on the island, and if you haven't seen the documentary that Peter Logue did, it's fascinating, but the formation of the high school, it was a 20-year question, and they had to vote 3 times, all of that. So when I watch that, I'm like, wow, there's incredible parallels here. That aside, for people who don't know, our schools in the AOS are K-8 schools. And that's great. We're very proud of them. But the question is are we really providing the maximum opportunities for our students? And that's kind of a veiled question, because there's many different layers within that. So what we're trying to do is explain the concept. What is middle level? And we have to define it. In the context of this question, we're saying middle level for this question is grades 7-8. Well, why 7-8? Why not 6, 7, 8? So we need an opportunity to explain that, number one. Number two, what is going to be the impact on schools? Because that communities need to know, does this mean my school's going to close? Does this mean that we're going to be doing X or we're doing Y? And the short answer is we need all of our schools. And one of the reasons that this question is being advanced is we just did our 10-year enrollment study, and we know where our numbers are going to be. And then again, outside of the middle level question, we're beginning to explore the concept of pre-K, pre-kindergarten, which right now isn't mandated, but it looks like that's coming.
And you have that in some towns.
We do.
But not others.
Correct. And here's the deal. Some of our schools are right now at max capacity, Tremont being one. And so if we're not thoughtful about our planning and strategically and looking at our resources, I don't think any of us want to be in a position where we say, well, we're out of room, we're out of space, and God forbid have portables showing up or those pieces. So we're just trying to be very mindful and make sure that we believe we've completed the work we can to date at our level. Now it's time to educate the community and get some direction from the community. So the question that will be asked at town meetings is, do you want us, the AOS, to continue to explore the concept of forming an island-wide middle school? Yes or no? It's a straw poll question. If the answer is yes, we continue to explore. If the answer is no, then we have to determine, well, what does that mean? Does that mean no for that community? Probably. Does that mean no for the whole concept? We don't know. And so the next phase, if that question is answered in the affirmative, will be coming back to the communities and saying, okay, this is what the concept might look like, location, so on and so forth.
You've got some schools that need some major work.
Yes.
The Connors Emerson School being one of them. And I know that when you start talking about major dollars for structural repairs beyond normal maintenance, that gets everybody concerned.
Well, you know, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to be really, some people think this question is mutually linked to Connors or some other school, and I would contend it can be a consideration, but they're not. I mean, what our enrollment study tells us, or what the data shows us, is that we need all of our schools. That's
right.
That's
You're not
clear.
looking, I mean,
We're not looking to close schools.
Right.
We need all of our schools, number one. And number two, outside of the middle level question, and I need to say this carefully with all due respect too, I don't think any one community is going to be able to or should be expected to shoulder the burden or the question. That needs to be something that's collaborative, much in the same way it was, in my opinion, much in the same way it was done with this high school. But with respect to Connors or some of those other schools, we are at a point where, and we've had incredible support from the citizens, but we're putting nearly $500,000 a year in capital improvement money into Connors, and we've run out of projects that we can do that are going to continue to have good money spent in a bad plant. So we have to move this question one way or another so that we are being fiscally responsible with taxpayer funds.
Right. Which is obviously the number one thing.
Correct. But just, if I may,
Sure.
This forum is intended to educate the community and parents about what the benefits may be.
So when and where is?
Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, March 17th.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, sir. St. Patrick's Day, Tuesday, March 17th, 5:30 p.m. at Mount Desert Island High School in the library. And that will be
That may
presented.
keep everybody quiet. There's no like shouting. You're in the library.
You're in the library, and it will be presented or facilitated by the subcommittee that explored this question. They have research to provide. They have recommendations, but again, it's not. I just want to be clear. It's about vetting a question. And information for a concept. It's not about voting on a location, on a price, or whether or not people want to do this tomorrow.
All right, so the straw polls will be held at town meetings?
At town meetings, yep. And there'll be information there to explain. I hope I'm given a quick opportunity to be able to explain that so people know what they're voting on. But yes, that's the purpose. And then the goal from there is, for each individual school committee in the individual towns, we're doing this one island-wide presentation. If individual school committees can then go to their school and their community and branch off those presentations to answer any additional questions or go from there.
So you have one giant meeting and then a bunch of stakeholders will have individual meetings.
Yep.
Okay.
So that if communities have further questions or they want to explore that further, they have the opportunity to do that.
All right, so again, it's St. Patrick's Day, March 17th.
Yes.
Here at the high school
Yes.
in the library, 5:30.
5:30.
Okay. And then obviously this time of the year, I know I've been getting information from the various schools. It's, as we talk about the future of the schools, it's time for kindergarten registration.
Yes.
So if you've got, I think it's October 20th, if you have a 5-year-old, someone who's going to be 5-year-old or on or before October 20th, 2020, it's time now to contact your elementary school for preschool, for K
Screening.
kindergarten screening.
It's exciting.
Seems so long ago.
Yeah.
All right. People have questions, they can always contact you.
Absolutely. They can email me. My email address is on the school website. It's mdirss.org. They can phone me at my office. It's 207-288-5049, or if they want to just come by and chat, make an appointment, would rather talk to people in person.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Check out all the other videos we have on the WDEA YouTube channel.